Well, we'll speak to the APC spokesman in a minute, but joining us now in the studio is the Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Ibrahim Abdullahi. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight.
Thank you, Adeso, for having me.
I mean, we've seen defections, but not the scale, and never in Delta State, which has originally been a PDP state since 1999. Did you see this coming as a party, or was it as a result of underestimating the internal wranglings of your party?
Well, to start with, I don't think we have a problem of that magnitude to warrant the kind of step taken today by Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborowori and the entire machinery of the state that was controlled by PDP. It has turned out to us as a surprise and a very disappointing one. This is the disappointment that some of us foresaw when early in the day we warned and we were requesting some of the things we did wrongly to be corrected. Otherwise, we will find ourselves in a very pathetic situation like the case today. But suffice to say, let me from the onset make it clear that PDP is not deterred. I have, at the risk of sounding reputational, always argued that it's the elephant in the house. 27 years down the drain, it still remains unshaken with the same objective, values, and logo, and the name. And it will be disappointing to the founding fathers of this party, the few that are alive, to see to it that it is degenerating to this sorry state, where a state like Delta, that we believed is our stronghold, where we worked so tirelessly and burnt the candle. We went to court, we made all that was possible to ensure that we kept that state in our control. But sadly, we have lost it today without a justifiable reason. The party is not in any crisis, as it were, to warrant this kind of decision. Yes, we are facing challenges. These are in-house bickering that you will agree are inevitable in political party and formations of movement, because including the ruling party, the APC, we all are in trouble. The country's political parties are facing one challenge or the other. Is it Labour? Is it ABGA? Is it NNPP in Kano? So PDP is the only one that even defied the odds, staying still with 12 until today, 11 governors, and is still providing leadership in these respective states where it's in control. And the little in-house bickering that we have contended with in the last couple of months, we thought we were getting to address that chapter. Only a fortnight ago, you saw the governors, including the same sheriff, you know, churning out their press conference, the communique that they issued, to the effect that they were going to put the house in order. So one would be left with amazement as to why, you know, this early in the day, you would just, but it's not surprising when you have people that are spineless, you know, people that are devoid of character, as it were, because I wouldn't see, this is one of the most painful decisions taken by any governor in, you know, Nigerian history. You have a state that is robust, one that we were proud of, and we don't think there's enough problem in your state to warrant this decision. There's not enough at the national level. You know, if all of it is instigated by the fact that our former presidential candidate, and that is the crux of the matter with which I laid the foundation, that the argument some of us were making, that he was not the most suitable person to be you know, anointed by Atiku Abubakar. And that's the ground that I still maintain. I came here and I spoke in different fora, arguing that Okowa was the wrong choice PDP should have made in 2023 in the build-up to that presidential election. Because even the committee that was constituted recommended Wike. 14 out of 18 of them went with Wike. The second person should have been Udom, if you are talking about a gentleman with demeanor and performance. And if you are talking about competence, you know, brand and capacity, then Wike would stand out.
And now the Wike you talk about has praised or, you know, applauded Okowa for the move. I mean, apparently, listening to you, truly, it is saddening for the PDP. Is this the non-demetis of the PDP?
No,
Is this the obituary of the PDP?
No, I can't.
Because it does look, with this mass exodus from the opposition party to the APC, looks like it's an endorsement of the performance of the governing party.
No. It's just a decision informed by greed, avarice, and selfishness. You cannot see why a governor, for example, will move away. Some will argue that the former presidential, candidate was instrumental to the movement. It can be understood from that context, but it will be sad because I wouldn't know what atrocity you committed that the APC will cow you into submitting yourself with the entire machinery, because he literally lured the governor into that conundrum. Whatever it is they want to achieve or escape from, we'll see it in the fullness of time. But then I want to assure you, it's a very reckless decision. It's a condemnable one. PDP is sad. PDP is disappointed. In any case, you don't expect anything from the character of the person, of the governor. I would not want to speak about personality, but honestly speaking, those who trace his antecedent, you would see why he will find comfort in this kind of movement. But it's sad. It's a disappointing
narrative. When you say
narrative.
He was lured, what exactly do you mean? Who lured him and what was he lured with?
Well, the vice presidential candidate is expected to be an influential leader in the party. He was his boss. He facilitated his emergence as governor, and he's still very instrumental to a lot of things happening in there. And so a lot of persons have argued that that's the position, but it remains to be seen. We are waiting his speech.
So what will the PDP do now to, tell itself the truth? Because this is a reality. And like they say, in politics, it's about the numbers. And when you keep hemorrhaging in the way you're doing, it's definitely not sustainable. What is the plan that the PDP has?
We have more than enough plan, Ngozi. Right. Only 3 days back, you would recall the national chairman in acting capacity, Ambassador Umar Iliadamagun, received a lot of defectors also into the party. A good number of them are meeting with us increasingly. We are having nocturnal meetings to that effect to see how we would also nip the situation in the bud by opening our house a little more. All the options are on the card now to see how we will confront 2027 with this behemoth that we have in place as or army of occupation called government. Certainly it is becoming clearer that what they are doing now is to encroach on the frontiers of all political parties and silence voices of dissent by ensuring that they remain the only one. They have succeeded in cowing the judiciary. They also succeeded in cowing the electoral umpire. They have succeeded in cowing even the security agencies. And now it's political parties they are making inroad into. But PDP will not give up yet. We have 11 governors and they are doing excellently well in their respective states. Are you
counting Borewori among the 11 governors?
No, it used to be 12.
Okay, but there are reports that you're about to lose more governors to the APC. Are you worried? And then you seem to blame every other person but yourselves. You say Governor Borewori was lured. You say, and I imagine you're referring to the APC, has cowed everybody and is intimidating everybody from the judiciary now to political parties. But you don't blame yourselves for what you have on your hand. And the question about losing more, the PDP is hemorrhaging, really.
I don't think that is a correct narrative, Adeswa. We've struggled.
Have you heard? Do you know? Because this is coming as a surprise to you that the governor of Delta State and the entire political structure in Delta State has defected. As a party, do you know that some of your governors are still planning to defect?
We will wait until we get to that bridge. If they do, they will have to justify what their reasons are. But that again will open the opportunity for the states where these governors are coming from to be able to take stock.
The governor of Akwa Ibom State, for example, Umoino, openly endorsed Tinubu for 2027.
But whether he is now going to leave the PDP to do so is a different kettle of fish. We will wait until he does that. In the meantime, we are still counting on Akwa Ibom and the governor as our member, and we will leave it at that. If they choose to go that way, it's up to them. But Nigerians, particularly these states where they are watching the mandate, and this calls for a constitutional review for us as a party to see to it that quality people with character allowed, the opportunity to continue.
Will the PDP be willing to wield the big stick? Because that seems to be missing. Whether, if you look back, to the events that led to the 2023 elections till present day, the PDP seemingly has been reluctant to wield the big stick, to actually discipline erring party members.
I don't think that's correct. We constituted 2 committees, you will recall, about a year ago, discipline and reconciliation, and they have worked so far. They have aggregated their reports, and they are about presenting it now for NEC to consider. Anytime we have our NEC, some of those issues that have been articulated from the committee will be made known and by the grace of God, we'll come out of the quagmire.
Well, the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fawashe, granted an interview recently, and he seems to disagree with you. Those committees set up in place, according to him, haven't worked, including the reconciliation, and that's why you have all this breakaway happening. But let me ask you about another development within your party, the South-South zonal. What's going on in the PDP? We have a caretaker committee, and we have a zonal committee in charge. Who exactly is in charge of the South-South under the PDP?
Is it Dan
Obi or Emmanuel Ogidi?
Yeah.
Well, a zonal committee was constituted by the National Working Committee, headed by Ambassador Umar Ilya Damagun, who is the acting national chairman. And Ogidi, as we speak today, is the one so recognized to do the job. That is the collective aggregate decision of the NWC. Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll really have to leave it there, and hopefully the PDP can turn this around for its own good. Thank you very much for joining us, Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Ibrahim Abdullahi, for joining us. Thank you very much.